Trade energy. Farm to AI. India. Canada agree on raft of measures to restore ties. So, remember when India and Canada were basically giving each other the silent treatment for 2 years? Yeah, well, someone finally decided to pick up the phone and plot twist. They're not just talking, they're planning a whole relationship reboot. From uranium to AI, from LNG to literally everything in between. Buckle up, because this geopolitical glow-up is wild. What's up, Canada Bulletin fam? If you thought international relations were boring, you clearly haven't been paying attention. Today, we're breaking down the India-Canada reconciliation that nobody saw coming. But honestly, we're here for it. This isn't just diplomatic small talk. Folks, this is a full-blown strategic partnership speedrun, and it's happening now. But first, let's rewind the tape. Okay, so here's the tea. Back in 2023, things got messy, like really messy. Then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused India of being involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Khalistan separatist living in Canada. India's response? Absurd and motivated. Translation? Absolutely not. And how dare you? Diplomatic ties? Downgraded faster than your phone battery. On a cold day. High commissioners? Sent packing. It was a geopolitical equivalent of unfriending someone on all platforms. For 2 years, these countries basically pretended the other didn't exist. No ministerial visits. No warm and fuzzy joint statements. Just awkward silence at international summits. But here's where it gets interesting. While India and Canada were beefing, the world kept spinning. Trump's tariffs started flying around like confetti at a chaotic wedding. Global supply chains started looking shakier than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. And suddenly, both countries realized, hey, maybe we need each other more than we thought. And that brings us to this week. Fast forward to Monday, and suddenly everyone's singing Kumbaya. Canada's Foreign Minister Anita Anand just wrapped up the first Canadian ministerial visit to India in over 2 years. And let me tell you, they didn't waste time with small talk about the weather. Prime Minister Modi welcomed her personally. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar rolled out a roadmap. So ambitious, it makes your New Year's resolutions look lazy. We're talking trade, investment, agriculture, science and technology, civil nuclear collaboration, AI, critical minerals, and energy cooperation. That's not a meeting agenda. That's basically a let's become best friends again starter pack. The joint statement? Practically dripping with diplomatic niceness. They're talking about respect for each other's concerns and sensitivities, which, if you read between the lines, means India's saying, can we maybe chill on the Khalistan stuff? And Canada's nodding along. Here's the kicker. This whole reconciliation started at the G7 summit in Connecticut, where Prime Ministers Modi and Carney, Mark Carney's running things now in Canada, decided to pursue what they call calibrated measures to restore stability. Fancy diplomatic speak for, let's fix this mess. But what does fixing this mess actually look like? Glad you asked. Let's talk money, baby. Trade is the cornerstone of this whole reunion tour. In 2024, even with the cold shoulder, India was Canada's 7th largest trading partner. We're talking $33.9 billion in two-way trade. That's not pocket change, folks. But here's what's about to happen. They're launching ministerial-level discussions on bilateral trade and investment. Translation? The big bosses are getting in a room to figure out how to make that number much bigger. They're also resurrecting the Canada-India CEO Forum. Basically an all-star team of business executives who identify opportunities in clean technology, infrastructure, agri-food, and digital innovation. Think of it as a corporate think tank, but actually useful. The forum's first meeting? Scheduled for early 2026 on the sidelines of a senior-level trade mission. Mark your calendars, because this is where things get real. Canada wants India's massive market. India wants Canada's resources and tech expertise. It's a match made in economic heaven, or at least in a very practical spreadsheet. Speaking of resources, let's talk about what's on the ground. Time to get energized, literally. Here's where things get spicy. They're re-establishing the Canada-India Ministerial Energy Dialogue. Fancy title, But basically, it means they're getting serious about LNG, LPG, oil, gas, and all the energy goodies. Canada is sitting on uranium mines, existing and proposed. India's got nuclear reactors that need fuel. See where this is going? The Department of Atomic Energy is already in talks with Canadian uranium suppliers. It's like a resource romance novel, and we're absolutely here for it. But wait, there's more. They're going green together too. Hydrogen, biofuels, carbon capture tech, electric mobility. These countries are planning their clean energy transition like it's a buddy movie. Fast and Furious. Clean Energy Edition. And critical minerals? Oh, you know that's huge. Canada has mining expertise and minerals. India needs those minerals for batteries, chips, and energy security. They're holding their first critical minerals annual dialogue in Toronto this March 2026. Here's why this matters. In a world where supply chains are more tangled than your earbuds in your pocket, having reliable partners for critical resources is everything. China's been dominating this game, but India and Canada are basically saying we can build our own supply chain with blackjack and democracy. But the really futuristic stuff? That's next. Welcome to the future, population, us. If you thought this was just about oil and rocks, think again. India and Canada are going all in on artificial intelligence and digital infrastructure. They're relaunching the Joint Science and Technology Cooperation Committee. Try saying that 5 times fast. Canadian AI companies are getting invited to India's AI Impact Summit in February 2026. We're talking partnerships in AI, cybersecurity, fintech, basically everything that'll matter in the next decade. Canada's got AI expertise. Hello, Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, is literally Canadian. India's got a massive tech talent pool and a booming digital economy. Put them together, and you got Silicon Valley looking nervously over its shoulder. They're also expanding cooperation in digital public infrastructure, which sounds boring until you realize it's about building the digital backbone that'll power everything from healthcare to banking to government services. Oh, and education? They're refreshing collaboration in higher education, promoting research partnerships, and get this, expanding Canadian academic presence in India through overseas campuses. Your future university might be a Canadian institution in Mumbai. So what's the real reason all this is happening now? Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Here's the thing nobody's saying out loud, but everyone's thinking. Trump's tariffs are making everyone nervous. The joint statement mentions ongoing global economic uncertainty and rising geopolitical tensions.